that a bird? Is that a plane?
Supertramp.
Yes. Supertramp. Not. Sounds like a superhero, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now, I was thinking about this. Okay, so, oh, that's super. Does anybody say that anymore?
No.
Like,
No, that's one of those phrases.
that man is great. He's super. No one says that anymore.
Or super duper.
Super duper.
So now, okay, so the Tramp is a famous character played by Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
So it's Charlie Chaplin as a superhero.
Okay.
How'd they come up with that? Did you read it?
They could have kept their first name, Daddy. They changed it because it was too close to Daddy Longlegs.
Right.
Yeah, that famous band.
Is that a famous band?
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's a Fred Astaire movie, and I've actually seen it. So yeah, hey, we finally have another band that we for sure know uses a falsetto voice. I wondered, Bee Gees, if there was another one, and they do.
I mean,
the one guy has
Stewart's up there.
Yeah,
His voice a little bit high.
right.
Geddy Lee was up there.
Yeah,
And his early stuff, anyways.
yeah. His voice, everybody's voice changes, obviously.
Yeah. So I would describe them as British Styx.
That's
Sort of.
pretty good.
Well, you got their two personalities in their music are
Right.
different, right? You got
Yeah.
Roger and
Richard.
So
I forget his last name.
it's the last name. I know it. Had to tip my tongue. Okay, whatever. They're way different, but they sort of complement each other. So maybe Jack Blades, Tommy Shaw, or no, not Jack Blades. I'm sorry, Tommy Shaw and Dennis DeYoung.
Yes. The Jack Blades would be Kelly Kiki, the drummer. I used to, when I was younger, probably in the 70s when we were little kids, I confused them with Air Supply.
Okay.
I mean, when you look at them now, it's like they're not even close to sounding the same. But I'm just saying, when they came
No,
on,
they got like a hint of early Yes in them a little
definitely. When Dreamer was on that commercial now for the Apple Vision Pro or whatever it's called. I thought that was a Yes song. I did back when they had like Roundabout and stuff. I did not realize that wasn't Yes. So I looked.
They had two albums that didn't do well, and then the millionaire guy who was funding him pulled his funding, and then the next album does good.
Yeah. So it's his fault.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But that had Dreamer. That was their first hit. Which when I listened to it, I'm like, why is that their first hit?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, after you get past the first part of the song, because that's the worst part of the song, and that's how you start it like that. But it does get musically better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why the second album didn't sell. Could it be the cover?
Yeah. Now, I also read somebody said that they reached their artistic peak with Crime of Century, but their
Progressively, then.
okay,
That's what
but
they're
their
talking about.
popularity was obviously
Breakfast in America, which I did not notice at first. I had to really look at the album. I thought that actually was the Manhattan skyline.
okay.
It's not. It's like breakfast plates and stuff.
Yeah.
They actually show pancakes. The docks in the river were forks and knives.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And did you research who the lady was?
She's an actress, and somebody said her name's Kate.
Kate Murtaugh.
Okay.
Okay, she was in the movie The Car, which is a movie we like.
Yeah.
Bit part. But
Is she the one that said that famous line?
which line?
No, that was never mind. That was the main character.
No.
They got killed.
She does have a famous line.
Okay.
Not from that movie though. You know who she?
Is she the one that berates the car when he leaves?
I don't know. No.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the younger teachers. Anyways, she's in a more famous movie with a very famous part. Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, okay. 2 weeks.
She's
the 2 weeks woman, isn't she?
Which woman is
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. The face comes apart. Arnold's in
Is
it.
that her?
He throws the head, and she goes, Get ready for a surprise.
Yeah.
That's her.
Yeah.
So she is kind of famous.
Okay.
I am surprised with how musically gifted all these guys are. They only had 10 hits.
Yeah.
And 4 of them were on one album. So that obviously, Breakfast in America is obviously the album you should get.
Right.
At least if you're American. If you're British, go for the other ones.
Yeah, and Roger he played the guitar, right? And the other
And
guy
piano.
He played piano, but
all sorts of things.
he was started with bass, and then he switched to the guitar, and the other guy was really the piano player for the songs.
He was going
But
to be their lead singer.
He was the guitar player at the end of Goodbye Stranger.
Oh, yeah.
That's Roger.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't, looking at him, you didn't think it was the other guy who played the guitar, but it wasn't.
And so did they have another really good guitar player?
I don't
It
know.
seems like he was their guitar player.
Yeah.
And then the nerd guy with the glasses was their bass player after he switched.
Yeah.
But yeah, and even he has part vocals. But
And you could see the whole band in their video for "It's Raining Again."
as characters.
Yeah, the saxophone players at the beginning of the video, on the corner of the building.
Yeah.
The bus driver, I believe, is one of the guys.
Yes.
Roger has a guitar in the bus. The other guy, which
There was two.
he's
the two cab players that threw him out.
the two guys that were in the truck that
The truck, and they threw him out.
Threw him out at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poor actor who got that part. Okay, your girl's gonna leave you. You're gonna get robbed. Then you get thrown out
Strip your
the truck,
clothes.
Then you get beat up.
Yeah. So and I'll tell you what. When I originally gave you the list, I didn't know. I mean, I should have known. I didn't look it up. Roger Hodgson had a actual legitimate solo career.
Yeah.
And so I finally gave you that song 2 days ago to re-rank our Supertramp because we're including
Yeah.
solo
And
careers.
Supertramp went on to do 1, maybe 2 albums. I don't know. So
Well, the Cannonball
They have-
was
they have-
without.
they have
Cannonball
11
was without
they have
him.
11 total. But yeah, Cannonball, pretty good song, I think. And the caveman in there is actually an early Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. So there's your only 2 movie ties: Kate Murtaugh, Ron Perlman. And
They've had songs in movies.
still, it's funny. How do you put we need somebody who looks like a caveman. Please apply. And then the girl. I mean, her teeth look like they were separated. Did they have to do something to her teeth?
I don't know.
Hopefully her teeth ain't really like that.
Well, if they're playing caveman and their teeth are supposed to be bad, they're probably wearing fake teeth.
Hopefully. Hopefully they were.
It's like those 3 guys on TikTok that play the Bee Gees. Those are obviously fake teeth, and they're like,
Well, it's the same guy, isn't it? Playing 3 different characters?
oh, I thought
think it is.
I thought it was 3 different guys.
Yeah, I think it's the same. Just like
Okay.
the guy who did the Queen's
Okay,
Killer
okay,
Queen
okay.
song, he played 8 of himself, playing different
Yeah,
instruments.
the Cannonball's a pretty good hit. Now, he went on tour without Roger because Roger left, and he would play the hits that Roger wrote, and Roger didn't like that, so you can't play the ones that I wrote. And then he stopped doing that because they suggested, and the fans would get upset. I'm like, of course, that's most of the hits.
Yeah, he did. And I think the other guy, Richard, and we'll look it up during the half.
What his last name
What his
is.
last name is, but he only had like 3 out of the songs on our top 10. 3 from him. Right? Goodbye Stranger is obviously his most famous. He did Bloody Well Right. And I'll tell you what, the one that surprised me when I watched the video is that My Kind of Lady. Played in black and white, and they look like a doo-wop.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cool to see, and beardless. So it didn't even look like the same guy, but that was
Didn't sound like him. Didn't sound like him either.
and he had to do falsetto.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty good song. I probably would rank it higher had I watched the video first, but I didn't. I listened to the song, then gave it to you.
I watched the video. I still ranked it where I ranked it. So.
Oh, okay. All right, so that's enough about Supertramp. Let's get into our top 10. And we'll be back with his name.
Rick Davies. Which I was like earlier when I was
Not
looking at-
related to the Kinks.
Yeah, I was like, I look at him going, oh, the same last name as the Kinks guy.
But he doesn't look like Ray Davies. So. All right, so top 10. Because
That is what parents would do, though. Rick and Ray.
Yeah.
They would do that. They would
Keep
do the
everything in R.
same letter, or they would do the same sounding. You know, Rand or Sandy and Mandy or whatever. Or
Stupid things. Parents
Yeah.
are cruel. Well, yeah, I was just playing Billy Idol. My son was like, I said, guitar player is Steve Stevens. He's like, why would the parents do that? Okay, so because I gave you the solo song just 2 days ago and we re-ranked our songs, we now have an honorable mention because 10 hits pretty much,
Yeah.
which is, amazes me. They
Well,
landed.
11 now. So.
But I'm saying as good as they were musically they harmonica, slide whistle, or whatever that thing is that sounds like a slide whistle.
Yeah, that's. I want to say it's harmonica. Is what it was.
Okay, but it looks like this little whistle. He just blows into it and from.
Well, the one that at the beginning, take the long road. Take the long.
Yeah, but
way.
it's at the end of the logical song. All sorts of sounds in that thing. All right, but tell you what, that third guy, John Holloway, really good saxophone player. So, okay,
Holloway or Hallowell? I thought it was Hallowell.
one of those. Doesn't matter. He's the third guy, so he's a third wheel. And he songs with the oboe in it too.
They had a lot of. I want to say cast changes. Well, I mean, once they got to where like Breakfast America, that was their classic lineup.
I think once they got to the third album, it stayed for a decade.
Yeah.
Okay, so the honorable mention comes from their first hit, Dreamer.
Good.
What album was it?
No regrets there.
Crime of the Century.
Yeah.
So the album title is better than the song.
That song is a crime.
1974. Yeah, and again, it's for that Apple Pro Vision thing you put on your face.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. In a lifetime, you can only say there is one crime of the century, right? It's like, this is the crime of the century. It's like,
Right.
they can't bump the, there's
That's
only one.
true. Yeah.
So, a century is 100 years. That's a long...
So I'm sure there's a channel does what we do, 10 crimes and rank them.
Okay.
Your number one would be the
Yeah.
crime of the century.
Yeah, so, I mean, our crime of the century from the last 100 years would have been what? OJ, probably?
Probably. Not. Well,
I mean, you'd have to think of a lot of crimes. There's the Marilyn Manson murders. And there's a lot of. I guess there's a lot of.
yeah.
We could look them up. Dillinger.
You'd probably be better off.
Al Capone.
You'd probably be better off looking at crimes of the decade. It'd be easier whittling him down.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
10 years. Okay, so I had that at 10. You had it at 11. So it now doesn't make the list because of you. Which does that song make you want to buy the Apple Pro? No. As a matter of fact, you're like on the shelf, you hear the song, and you put it back.
It's not. It's one of those. If they did what you two did, and put it on your phone without you.
Oh, yeah.
If they did that, it's like you automatically get Dreamer on your phone.
Oh my
You
goodness.
think you?
You're exchanging your phone service. That's what you're doing. All right, number 10, which was my 11. You put it at 7. I probably would change it again from the, what's FLW? Oh, Famous Last Words.
Yes.
And that's My Kind of Lady, sung by Richard Davies in a falsetto voice. So pretty good. I think that we've had a song called My Kind of Lady on one of our lists before. I can't remember who.
My Kind of Lover. That's
Oh yeah, Billy.
Yeah.
Billy Squire. That's not what I'm talking about. But again, I think we ranked it low because it's a different age.
Yeah, it's
Taking a
it's
song
one
from
that
a
we
different era.
really don't regard it as a hit.
Yeah,
You and
that
I
too.
don't.
That's true. Okay, so that's your number 10. And it was from 1983. So yeah, you're putting a song like that in the 80s. I think It's Raining Again is on that same album. So you wouldn't buy that album. Number 9, also coming from Crime of the Century. This one came after Dreamer. And that's Bloody Well Right. You have this at 9, I have it at 8. I think that's a British phrase.
Bloody well right it is.
and in the video, you see the guy says right, and he echoes right using megaphone.
Yeah.
Right? They actually look like the Monty Python troupe when they're singing the song. So it's kind of like a parody.
Yeah, no, good thing it's not like Oh, look at that bloody well over there. It's like there's a well. That's where you threw all the bodies. That's why it's bloody.
Yes, but again, I when you watch these guys live, even the horrible songs on the radio, watch them and you're into it. I think I would have went to see these guys.
And they do a lot of where they'll stop singing and they're just playing instrumentals. They got like minutes long solos.
This would have been a good band to watch, even though they only had 10 hits. I would have been hopefully. If I was older, say we were born a decade earlier, this probably would have been a band.
Well, they did have a live album, right, called Paris. So that was probably.
But there weren't as many. I mean, Breakfast in America was it out yet?
That song is on that album.
Oh, it came after that then.
Well, no, because not necessarily. It might have, but they did play songs live in concert before they released them.
Oh, okay. Some people do that. They'll put
because they
test their hit out on the stage.
Yeah. So
okay. All right. So that was number 9. Number 8 coming from. Brother, where you bound? I mean, what kind of phrase is that?
I don't know.
I mean, there is that George Clooney movie,
Brother, where art thou?
Oh, Brother, where art thou? Right. I thought that's what this would be. And that would be Cannonball. And I have this at 7. You have it at 10. So for liking it, I have it.
I do like it, and I listened to it again. And I'm like, it's just not one of their well-known hits, but musically it sounds pretty good, actually.
I would say, even though when we were younger, we probably heard their songs on the radio.
I remember this video coming out on MTV.
This was the first one where I was aware of who Supertramp finally was. After they got rid of the or he left or whatever. Yeah, so
just watching the video, I don't understand the box.
Right.
That it's showing specific areas of the screen. The whole screen is being shown, but it's only the box.
And you know what? TikTok or something like one of the things today does that. They'll focus on a certain thing. I see that on the film.
Well, but then if you're going to put the box there, then show it as a whole screen of what it would look like without the rest. It never does that. It never zooms in on that box.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, number 7 coming from even in the quietest moment. I have to.
And they had the cover as a piano. With
snow all over.
They gutted the piano and put it out. And then let it snow all night, and then took the picture the next day.
Pretty cool picture.
And there's music on it. It says "Goodbye Stranger" on top, but it's actually the Star Spangled Banner. The music is. They just changed the title.
Well, "Goodbye Stranger" doesn't come from that album, though.
No, but that's what's on the music on the cover.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right,
but it's not "Goodbye Stranger." I said it's the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, this is the album right before Breakfast in America. You have it at 8. I have it at 6. The song is "Give a Little Bit." And I thought this was on the album with Bloody Well Right because they're similar in sound. And that was their 3rd hit. And their hits were very staggered up until 1979, or even after that. It's like slew of hits right here, staggered everywhere else. Yep. Number 6 coming from Famous Last Words again. By the way, do they have any famous last words? Whose famous last words?
Well, none of them are dead, so
that's true. Wonder whose they were talking about when they.
There are famous. There's even a book. I believe there's a book.
There is.
That's.
When they mention it, whose specifically are they asking about?
I don't know.
What was the cover?
Famous last words. I don't remember, but I do know "It's Raining Again."
Right.
At the beginning. They're at a movie theater before the guy on the bus and his thing.
Okay.
They're watching a movie.
Yeah. That's true.
And when they pull into, before they watching the movie, they pull into the drive-in, and it says "Famous Last Words" on the. So that's like the title of the movie.
Oh, okay. Playing. Okay. We'll say it's the movie. I don't think there's a movie called Famous Last Words.
No, but I'm just saying they did. Well, they did that reference their previous album.
I know. So this comes. It's raining again.
So famous last words means that it must have came from a person who's famous, right? Because famous last words, they quoted said, "Oh, who said that? Mark Hobson." Who's that? I don't know. Like anybody, any Joe Blow. That's not a famous one. It has to be from a famous person.
That's true. So you had this at 4. I had it at 9. I do not think it's Breakfast in America, coming from Breakfast in America, which wasn't its original title.
He never does say breakfast in America.
He does. He does.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he says it once, I think. Not the chorus. It's like in one of the verses before. I have this at 4. You have it
Because
at 5.
I've heard him say breakfast in it, and I've heard him say American in it separately.
I think
a lot,
I think it does say that. This has an oboe solo
Yeah.
in it. I'm pretty sure that's an oboe.
Which we're going to be doing Christopher Cross.
Does he have an oboe?
Doesn't? Isn't there an oboe or something in the author's thing?
Oh, maybe. I'll have to look.
Okay.
I didn't do my research yet.
I could be wrong.
Okay, so that's number 5. Number 4, also from Breakfast in America. I have this one at 3. You have it at 6. So this is your least favorite song from that album, and that's "Take the Long Way Home." So, and "Take the Long Way Home" is, you would say, the scenic route.
What's Foreigner's song?
Long, long way to go.
Long, long way to go.
Maybe. Wasn't in our top 10, so I don't know. But this one has a slow lead in, finally get the harmonica before all the other instruments join in. And then it ends with the, long way home. How many times does he say it?
I don't know. Probably 7.
We'll go with that. So, no shortcuts. Why do you need to take the long way home?
We call it the scenic route.
Yeah, but why?
I don't know.
All right, but I have this one at 3. You have it at 6. And number 3, the surprise song that we haven't mentioned yet, comes from Roger Hodgson's solo career, and I believe the album is called "In the Eye of the Storm."
Okay.
He says it in the song. Had a dream, and in parentheses, sleeping with the enemy.
Right. So he's a dreamer.
He did have a dream, yes. You have this song at 3, and I have it at 5. It's an 80s song, 1984. Wasn't going to crack 1984's list. There's too many songs out there.
Yeah, it starts out as inspiration is 2001, The Space Odyssey, The Baby.
So here's our tie into Janet Jackson, because that video is a wardrobe malfunction.
He's wearing a
loincloth,
yeah.
basically. And then he's got the face paint on for most of it, and then he finally turns into himself. This is still a cool video. To do that, you have to have a lot of confidence in yourself. Right? So I give it to him. And he's still, you can go on YouTube and watch him perform it live. He does a better job at this song than like REO Speedwagon does at their songs at their age. All right, number 2, which this song I almost put at 1. There was one time where I liked this as my favorite, but I switched after listening to it again. Coming from Breakfast in America, both of us have it at number 2, and that is "Goodbye Stranger." So number 10 was from Davey.
It starts out the dun, 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 dun. Right. Okay, so but it goes don't know the words. They got that part. Then they go into the goodbye stranger,
and he does falsetto.
He said no, goodbye stranger. Oh, no, it is goodbye stranger. Goodbye stranger. He says it once.
Does he?
And then every time he repeats, he doesn't say it again. It's always Jane and whatever the other person's name is.
Yeah. My favorite part of the song is when they start going. And you can hear the guitar going.
Yeah,
that's the best part of the song.
Yep.
So, yes, and that almost made me put it at number 1. But, but then you have to re-listen to the other song and realize there's no way that this is the number 1 song. Because the logical song has to be the number 1 song.
Right.
It's too much going on.
Is that they're playing clavinets? At the beginning.
He does. Yeah, watch the live video. They show the drummer actually do that. Both of us have this at number 1. And there's the part at the end where, they're going through all sorts of sounds. The slide whistle noise. he does. What does he do? He does the saxophone where it goes, "Woo," and it reminds me of Sanford and Son.
Okay.
I don't know if Sanford and Son uses the saxophone, but yeah. And then he goes.
The best part is the lyrics, though, when he's rhyming over and over.
He does.
Something logical.
And
spiritual.
He's dogging politics, I think, because he says.
I heard an interview where he's talking about it's just him searching for God. Actually,
is it really?
Yeah, because he went to a boarding school.
Yes, that's what it was.
So he was just searching.
Well, now, yeah, because it sounds like he went to school and they turn you into something.
Yeah.
Which nowadays they do that.
Practical, sensible.
Respectable, a vegetable. A respectable vegetable. Okay, so, and then at the end, I've heard, they got that one sound. Remember we used to have that game, the soccer hand game? I think there's a sound from that handheld game that's in the song. And then he also goes 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah, I like the guitar too. Not the same as a but at least it's something.
It's not on the level of Eddie Van Halen, but they're cool guitar parts
and memorable.
Yes, and Logical Song. It's not going to be in the list I give you because it's 1979 when I finally give you a list, but this has got to be up there in one of the best saxophone solos in a song. So, my opinion. So that's it. Logical Song is our number one. He never says the logical song. He just says logical. He says logical. It's one of the adjectives he uses. But that is our number one.
He says some weird vocal things. Like.
He looks like he's having fun on the song.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's our Supertramp top 10. We almost didn't have an honorable mention until I found that solo, so I'm glad I found that. And we ranked it high up there. So you got to go check out Had a Dream. Just watch the video. I don't care if you like the song or not. You got to watch the video. And who's next week? Oh, you want to talk about? We go from similar time frame. So this is one of the best albums. Breakfast in America is one of the best albums of 1979. We go then to the best album in 1980. The band who played it, anyways. If you recall, who was the best? It was the top-selling album of 1980. I'm pretty sure. So that's the band we're doing next week, and they don't sound nothing like Supertramp.
Yeah, that's okay.
And they also have two singers, but they never sang together at the same time.
Was their album best album in 1980? Yeah, I guess it was.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's like in the top 3 all time.
Okay.
Right below Thriller. Pretty sure I said that.
This was the second singer, right?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So, first guy didn't have a whole lot of hits. Second guy has all the hits.
Yeah.
Practice.
And I know that it's just like the Genesis with the Peter Gabriel fans.
Some people think Peter.
Yeah,
I don't know who thinks Peter Gabriel's was better.
But with this band, there are those people who think the first singer was the best.
Yeah.
I disagree. Although the second singer, I believe, when he came on, tried to mimic the first singer.
Yeah. So he probably has to sing those songs live, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, you probably haven't figured out by now, but we're still gonna leave you hanging until next week. So that's our band for next week. We'll see you then.
Bye.